Have you ever wondered why some leaders scale faster while others stay trapped in burnout and bottlenecks? Gallup found that CEOs with strong delegation skills achieved growth rate 112 percentage points higher than those with low delegator talent. Yet, many managers still struggle to hand things off effectively. In today's video, I'm going to walk through the 5-level framework I call the Conductor's Ladder. By the end, you will know exactly where every person on your team stands and exactly how to lead them to the next level. If you watched the last video, you know the core shift from player to conductor, from doing to shaping. But here is what I didn't tell you yet. Bernstein didn't walk onto the Carnegie Hall stage as a stranger to orchestras. For years before that debut, he had been studying, teaching, demonstrating, coaching musicians at every level. He understood exactly what it took to move someone from needing direction to performing with full ownership. He had, without knowing it, developed what I call the Conductor's Ladder. Now, here is the delegation mistake I see over and over again. A leader has something they need to hand off. They explain it once, quickly, and walk away expecting it to be done. It either comes back wrong or it doesn't come back at all, and they end up doing it themselves. And then they say the thing that kills teams. It is just faster if I do it myself. Every single time a leader says those words, they put a ceiling on what their team can ever become, and they lower the floor on their own impact. The problem isn't your team's ability. The problem is that you skipped steps on the ladder. You went from level 1 straight to level 5 and wondered why they couldn't fly without ever learning to climb. Before we go into the ladder, I want to say this. The reason most leaders skip steps isn't impatience. It is that they haven't done the inner work to understand what version of themselves is required at each level. That work starts with knowing who you are as a leader right now. And you can access yourself right now using the Leader Identity Audit. It is free, takes less than 10 minutes, and it will give you a clear picture of where your leadership identity is strong and where your blind spots are. Those blind spots are exactly what gets you stuck on the ladder. The link is in the description. Now, let us climb the ladder. I want you to picture someone on your team right now. Maybe someone new, maybe someone you've been trying to develop. Hold that person in your mind as we go through this. Every person on your team is somewhere on this 5-level ladder. Your job as a leader is to know exactly where they are and to move them up intentionally one level at a time. So, level number 1, it is TELL, T-E-L-L. This is the foundation. Before anything else, this person needs complete clarity, not a rough idea, a very defined outcome. What does done look like? What are the boundaries? What does success actually mean for this particular task? Your role here is director. You are not coaching yet, you are defining. Vince Lombardi, who won 5 NFL championships, built his entire system on this principle. He was famous for drilling the fundamentals so completely that every player knew exactly what was expected before a single play was run. Not because he didn't trust them, because clarity is the foundation trust is built on. The trap at this level, it is assigning the task without assigning the standard. You think you gave them a goal, they think they got a task. Those are completely different things. Level 2 is teach. Now you can show them, not just the steps, the thinking behind the steps. You are not transferring instructions here. You are transferring understanding. Toyota built the most consistently excellent manufacturing operation in history on this principle. They call it the Toyota Kata. Supervisors don't just tell workers what to do. They demonstrate, explain their reasoning, and then ask questions to make sure their understanding is transferred. It is not just talking about action, but the mental model behind it. Your role here is instructor. The trap though, it is showing someone once and assuming they got it. They watched it. That is not the same as understanding it. Level number 3, it is try, T-R-Y. This is where most leaders struggle the most and where most teams stop growing. And I don't want you to miss it. What you need here is guided execution. Here's the key: guided. Underline guided if you are taking notes. You let them attempt it for real and you stay nearby, but do not take over. Even when it gets uncomfortable, even when you can see that they're about to make a mistake, you already know how to fix. This is critical because here is what I know from coaching emerging leaders. The moment you jump in too early, you send a message that you don't actually believe they can do it. And people become what they're expected to become. Your role here is coach. You observe, you ask questions, and you correct. But you do not take over. Very important. You do not take over. You let them struggle. That is where the growth lives. Next level, trust. 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 Now you step back. They own the process. You focus on outcomes, not method. You give them space to make decisions, even decisions you might have made differently. Netflix built their entire culture on this principle. They call it context, not control. For every major project, they name an informed captain, one person fully responsible for the outcome. And then they get out of the way. They trust the context they've built. Your role here is observer. And here's the identity challenge this level surfaces. If your sense of value as a leader is tied to being needed, to having answers, to being in the room, level 4 is going to feel wrong. It is going to feel like you are not doing your job. But be reassured, you are doing a great job. You are doing the highest version of it. Last but not least, level 5, transfer. This is where we give full ownership. They make decisions without you. They solve problems without you. They handle conflicts without you. And here is how you know you have actually reached level 5 with someone. They start developing others. They become the conductor for someone coming up behind them. Zappos built an entire company culture on this. People who don't just own tasks, but own roles, own standards, own the growth of the people around them. Your role here is architect. You are no longer building outcomes. You are building the people who build outcomes. And most leaders never reach this level. Not because their team isn't capable, but because they never move through levels 2, 3, and 4 with enough intention. Very key, intention. They skip the rehearsal and you cannot shortcut the ladder. I do want to leave you with this. Most leaders live at level 3. They get someone to the point where they can execute the task with guidance, and they call it delegation. That is not delegation. That is supervised execution. Good leaders reach level 4, but great leaders build level 5. And the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be on that ladder is almost never a skill gap. It is an identity gap. It is about who you believe you are supposed to be as a leader and whether that identity has room for a version of you that trusts more than it controls. Now, here is your assignment for this week. Very simple, very specific. Pick one person on your team, the one you've been meaning to develop, the one you keep taking things back from. Honestly identify what level they are currently on, and then do one thing. Show up as the version of you that is required at that level. Not the level below it, not the level above it, that exact level. If they are at tell, give them the clearest definition of success you've ever given anyone. If they are at teach, show the thinking, not the task. If they are at try, stay in the room but keep your hands off. If they are at trust, actually step back. Track the outcomes, not the activities. If they are at transfer, celebrate it and ask them who they are developing. Here you go. You now have the ladder. You know the 5 levels. You know your role at each one. But here is what I haven't told you yet. The conductor's ladder is how you develop one person. What happens when you have 8 or 15 or an entire organization? How do you build a system, a full operating structure so that leadership development, delegation, and high performance happen consistently across your entire team, not just when you are in the room. That is what the third and final video in this series is about. Don't miss it. And if you've missed the first part of the Conductor ladder, check it here. Share and subscribe. See you in the next one. God bless.